Now, speaking of a game ending, the Monday Night Football game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 28, the Philadelphia Eagles 22. Tampa Bay 5-1 on the season. Philly falls to 2-4, and they're 0-3 at home. So let's just keep that in mind. 0-3 at home. You know, the first half, Tampa Bay was clicking, right? You know, Tampa Bay 14 points in the first quarter, 7 points in the second quarter. They're up 21-7 going into halftime. And in the second half, they only scored 7 points. They only scored 7 points in the second half. Tom Brady played, I'd say, okay. You know, he didn't. It's one of those things like coming off a Sunday, and we talked about this. Is Tampa Bay just going to come in here, get the dub, take care of business, take their 10 days rest, get Gronk more healthy, you know, rest up their injuries, get Tom Brady's thumb, you know, rest it up and just get out of there. And essentially, I mean, that's pretty much what they did. I know this box score is 6 points, which we told you we didn't really like the spread, right? And if you would have teased this and took Philadelphia, you would have cashed out on that. But Tom Brady, 34 for 42, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns. He got those 2 touchdowns early. I thought we were locked in, Jay, for over 2.5 touchdowns. I was like, oh, we got this. And then he didn't throw anymore. It was Leonard Fournette. It was Leonard Fournette. He was the star of the show. 28 touches, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns. Blast from the pass. Leonard Fournette just looking like the Leonard Fournette when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I'm going to be honest, though. Every time Ronald Jones touched the ball, you can tell he's got more juice than Fournette. Like, you can tell. There's no denying that he's got more juice than Fournette, but they don't trust him. He can't hold on to the ball. He can't catch anything. So outside of just being a one-dimensional kind of, you know, bursty running back, he just does not have the complete package that Fournette has. He had 22 carries, 81 yards, so he did smash the over on 61.5 yards that we talked about. He also added 6 receptions for 46 yards. I mean, listen, offensively, there are no questions. I have 0 questions about Tampa Bay. No Gronkowski, O.J. Howard steps up. Cameron Brate steps up. Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Take your pick, man. Take your pick. Antonio Brown went off in this matchup as well, Jay. AB, 13 targets, 9 receptions, 93 yards, and a touchdown. My question to you is Antonio Brown playing like a Pro Bowler this season in the NFC?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think now how many Pro Bowlers get in so I can kind of rank them as far as I'm concerned.
I think it's 4. It's 4 wide receivers.
Because I think Coop would probably be in there.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp.
I could see a situation where maybe – I was thinking Amari Cooper, but yeah, Cooper Kupp for sure.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp is in.
Metcalf or Lockett maybe. I'm trying to think of all the names. Hopkins probably not right now. Then you have –
You've got Jefferson. You know what? You got Jefferson
Jefferson's
still.
Close. Yeah, he's playing well. I think, and then DJ Moore is another guy who's playing really well as well. I'm trying to think if there's anybody we're missing here. It's close, man. It's close. Like, I think there's a really good shot. Adams. Oh, yeah, Hunter, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
I almost forgot about Devontae Adams.
Oh, God, yeah. Devontae Adams, yes.
But I'd say he's on the cusp for sure. He could be that 4th, potentially replacement level guy. And if he keeps playing this well, like...
Listen, he's 11th in the league in receiving yards, 14th in receptions, tied for 7th in touchdowns. I'm just saying, he's playing a Pro Bowl. He's playing at a Pro Bowl caliber this season. I mean, he's. I think it's Adams, Jefferson. Adams and Jefferson to me are locked in the NFC, in my opinion.
Debo maybe. That's a good point, Stone. Debo is playing really well too. I don't know if he can keep
Samuel.
it up.
Yeah,
he's probably a front runner right now.
The point is, he's in the conversation, and this is a player who literally was on his couch for about a year and a half. So to see Antonio Brown, and he does not look like he's lost a step, man. Again, I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. He's the fastest player in NFL history to hit like 900 receptions, and he didn't play a year and a half of football, man. Like, that's just how great Antonio Brown is. He's a great wide receiver, even at 33 years old. I mean, he just doesn't show any signs of wear and tear, any signs of slowing down. We talked about O.J. Howard. I wonder if they're getting O.J. Howard. I wonder. At first, I was like, are they trying to prep O.J. Howard to get traded? But he looked good, man. He looked good. You know, I don't know. When Gronk is back, does Gronk just step back into his touchdown machine role, or are they trying to showcase O.J. Howard?
I
Chris
think it's
Godwin.
going to be back to Gronk, man.
You think so?
I think it has to be
You
because
think so?
Gronk's just too good. Connection with Brady. And I think OJ, again, he'll be on the field because he's going to block. But I think if he is getting the ball a little bit more, I wouldn't be shocked because Brady hasn't done a whole lot. Like, a lot of people have been touting Brady, especially in this game. I think that, we saw it was more OJ. And maybe it'll just be more OJ and Gronk going forward and kind of none of Brady because he's not so much a blocker.
The only issue I have with this Stone is Cooper Kupp has to be in here. So right now, I'd say AB is on the outside looking in. But if this plays out, then two of these guys won't participate, and then you'll have two alternates, and then Antonio Brown would probably be like the first alternate. But Cooper Kupp is locked in with Devontae Adams at this point for me, and then you still have CeeDee Lamb with Dallas. Like there's some big names in the NFC. Bruning said if AB hadn't missed almost 2 years, I think he'd be a lock in discussion as one of the greatest wide receivers ever to play, hands down. Hands down. There's no say what you want. I don't care about. Let me not say that. He had some off the field issues that were a little concerning, right? Like let's not diminish that. But I don't care about the beef with Juju. I don't care about that stuff, right? On the field, I still think he is one of the greatest wide receivers ever to play football. I do. I think he's a top 10 wide receiver ever to lace him up. Top 10, and I think there's a very strong case to even be a little bit higher than that. AB should be a first ballot lock Hall of Famer, and he probably still has another good 2-3 years left in him, especially as long as he's tethered to Tom Brady. So AB, fantastic game. Godwin and Evans, they just, Godwin came out. I think he had 3 receptions in the first quarter, and then it just spread it out. Tom Brady just spreads it out, man. Like his Julian Edelman is Antonio Brown. That's the guy he trusts. That's the guy he's looking to often. Everybody else just gets in where they fit in. And that's the problem with Tampa Bay pass catchers. Like, it's really flipping a coin as to who's going to be the other guy opposite Antonio Brown, and we just don't know. Because for a minute, Mike Evans got that deep target early in the game, and you're thinking this is going to be a Mike Evans game, and then it was Chris Godwin, and then all of a sudden it's Antonio Brown getting everything, and O.J. Howard getting everything, and Leonard Fournette with 6 receptions. So this is one where I didn't like Chris Godwin's lines. I didn't like it, man. He was at 5.5 receptions. He ends up with 5. He was at 50-something yards. He ends up with 43. He converted all 5 of his targets, 100% catch rate, but it's just, it's a good football team. And Tom Brady does not need to just go to a guy. He's good at surveying the field and finding who's open. And watching these two quarterbacks play last night, listen, Tom Brady's got 20 years in the NFL on Jalen Hurts, okay? So he's seen everything from every team, every defense. He's seen it all. But just his ability to go through his reads, and if it's not there, check it down. If it is there, take a shot. If it is there, put it on the money. And that's one of the things that, right now, when we're looking at Philadelphia, and Hunter said earlier in the chat, he said Hurts ain't the one. Here's my argument with this. I know it's a what have you done for me lately type world, right? I understand that. But let's not forget that Josh Allen, through his first 12 NFL games, was dreadful. 52% completion percentage, 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Josh Allen in his rookie season threw for under 100 yards. 1, 2, 3 games in that season, was inactive for 4 games, had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 multiple interception games, 5 games where he threw two or more interceptions, and he only had 1 game during his rookie season, 2 games during his rookie season where he threw for over 2 touchdowns. That came in Week 12 versus the Miami Dolphins in a loss, and then the final game of the season, coincidentally, versus the Miami Dolphins, which resulted in a win where he had 3 touchdowns. He didn't have any games over 300 yards during his rookie season, and he only had 1 game over 240 yards during his rookie season. So let's not forget that there was a 2-year stretch where everybody in the world thought Josh Allen was a bust. Everybody thought he was a bust, and then he breaks out in his 3rd season. The difference between the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles is the Bills committed to Josh Allen despite his struggles. This was Jalen Hurts' 10th career start in the NFL with 2 different coaching regimes. And let's be honest, during his rookie season, he started the final 4 games, in which that team was decimated by injury. It was the final 4 games of the season. Jalen Hurts did not play well. He did not play well last night. You know, when you complete half of your passes for 115 yards, he was only sacked twice, but he didn't play well. Nick Sirianni is not a good play caller. I mean, that offense is more predictable than the Jason Garrett-led Dallas Cowboys offense. I mean, literally, I don't even want to call it an RPO. It's like zone read, one read, and then he's rolling out to the right every single time. Like, I wanted to tweet it out last night. Like, anytime there's any kind of trouble in the pocket, he's rolling out right. The one time he rolled out left, because it's difficult for a right-handed quarterback to roll left and throw the ball. He runs away from Shaq Barrett, picks up like 6 or 7 yards. But outside of that, there was a tweet that I took a picture of, and I want to read Jalen Hurts' pass distribution last night. And this is 100% on the offensive coordinator and the people calling plays. At the line of scrimmage, he had 5 passes. He was 5 for 5 for passes at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage, 5 of 5 for 10 yards. Anywhere from the line of scrimmage to 10 yards, he had 4 passes, was 2 for 4 for 11 yards. 10 to 20-yard passes, he was 1 for 2 for 16 yards, and then deep passes between 20 and 30 yards. He had 3 completions. On six attempts. Like, there's nothing in the center of the field, like nothing in the middle of the field. It's either to the right sideline. Majority of his passes come to the right sideline. Nothing on the left-hand side of the field that it was completed. He completed 5 passes on the left-hand quadrant of the field, the left third of the field, for a grand total of 10 yards and an interception. And then down the middle, he attempted 1 pass, completed it for 25 yards, nothing else in the middle of the field. It's all on the right-hand side of the field, left-hand side of the field. Majority of it is deep or at or behind the line of scrimmage. The play calling is absolutely atrocious. Jalen Hurts is not playing well. Nick Sirianni isn't doing him any favors. They've got 2 talented running backs. Miles Sanders really doesn't get the ball into the third, fourth quarter. He finishes with 9 rushing attempts. Jalen Hurts has 10 carries. The wide receivers, I mean, there are so many times where I'm just watching. Rager was open a couple of times. One of the balls was underthrown. The other one, he's getting interfered with. He had 90 yards of penalties on 2 pass plays. Devonta Smith, he just doesn't even look there. Quez Watkins gets his looks early, and then he jumps and mistimes the pass that was picked off. That was on Quez. It's just, this offense is atrocious. And yesterday I said I wouldn't take Kenny Gainwell. I didn't like the Miles Sanders receiving props. Like, I just don't trust this offense, man. But my big thing to everybody out there saying that Jalen Hurts ain't hit, like, again, we just did this with Josh Allen, and now Josh Allen, people are saying, is the MVP of the NFL. He is the front runner for the MVP award, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, just got paid a bajillion dollars to be a franchise quarterback. But the first 2 years of Josh Allen's career, he was absolutely dreadful. For 2 seasons, he was dreadful, viewed as a bust. So let's pump the brakes on the Jalen Hurts ain't it equation, because if you watch the game, literally no type of run. I get it. Tampa Bay is impenetrable. You can't run up the middle, which Philly was trying to do. I have no clue why. Get creative in the run design. Like, get creative. Do something different. Get your running backs in space. Run some outside zones. Run some counters. Do something. Help out the quarterback who's only started 9 career games going into last night. So, I mean, I'm just curious as to where you're at on this situation. It's just, I saw Emory Hunt tweet out last night. It's amazing which quarterbacks are judged on a throw-by-throw basis, which ones are judged on a game-by-game basis, and which ones are judged by their body of work over multiple seasons. And it seems like Jalen Hurts is truly graded on a game-by-game, pass-by-pass basis. And I just think it's a little unfair. I think it's a little unrealistic. I think it's a little unfair, especially for a quarterback coming out of Oklahoma. We knew that there were some development issues that he needed to grow in. We knew this coming in. So for people thinking that he should be out there throwing, for 320 and 3 with this offense, how? Like, how? The offense is uninspiring. It's uncreative. They're not helping him out. And it was his 10th career start. So, it was not a good performance. But give credit. Every game, Philly is in it. They're there. Every game, they've been there. It's just, how do they get over the top? That's the difference between a good team. That's the difference between great teams and good teams and bad teams. Figuring out ways to win, overcoming situations in adversity. But I'm not going to call Jalen Hurts a bust after 10 career starts, man.
Yeah, Ray, I think you touched on a lot of good points there. The biggest one I think that you clarified, Jalen Hurts did not have a good game. And we talked about it yesterday and on Wednesday as well. Like, he's going to struggle in a game against a great pass rush. And you saw it probably on at least a third of his dropbacks. He had to run away out of necessity from Shaq Barrett, from Jason Pierre-Paul on some of these plays. So I'm not going to put it all on him, but even still to complete, 12 of 26, it's not great, still under 50%. And my biggest gripe with the whole situation, and to your point, I don't know if it's play calling, I don't know if it's Jalen, but he didn't really look Devonta Smith's way that often. And he was open. He was open plenty of times. He was beating his defender, but he just wasn't looking his way. And I was just like, this is your guy. Like, this is your guy from college. This is your guy now in the NFL. This is your top draft pick. Why is it that 3 weeks in a row, Devonta Smith is getting targeted a lot, gaining a lot of yards, scoring touchdowns, but this week he's up against Richard Sherman, cooks him, makes him basically tear his hamstring out of the game in the first quarter. Now all of a sudden it's like, well, we're not going to go to that guy. We're not going to target him the ball.
But that's the play design.
That's I don't know who to.
There's no identity.
Who to pin it on.
There's no identity. You pin it on. Listen, you pin it on the quarterback, but you also equally blame the offensive coordinator. Like, I am not going to say that it's all somebody else's fault, right? Jalen Hurts has to have the confidence to sit. There were a couple of plays last night where, watching the game, it truly looked like he said, I'm going to sit in the pocket no matter what and throw the ball. And he didn't bail when the first read wasn't there. I don't know if the pass was complete or not, but I vividly remember him like sitting in the pocket. I'm like, yes, sit in the pocket, scan the field. So I'm not taking all blame away from Jalen Hurts, but Jesus, the play calling is literally it's bad, man. I mean, it's it's so predictable. They've got the receivers spread all the way out.
That one play, yeah.
Like, and they continue to do it, and I'm just like, your quarterback is struggling with accuracy. I don't even know if they ran any kind of quick smoke screens at all. Like, just tell the receiver to turn around and just catch it and do something after the catch. Just get him some easy wins. Devonta Smith on a crossing route. Quez Watkins on a crossing route. The play that they went for it, I believe, on 4th down, or maybe it was a 3rd down play, where Jalen Reagor, it looked like he dropped it, but his arm was hooked. It was like a 3-yard turnaround. Devonta Smith was one-on-one coverage with number 30 open on the other side of the field. He runs a slant, and he's wide open. And instead of even looking that direction, I mean, there were 3 defenders around Reagor, 3 of them, and he fit the ball in there, but Smith was wide-ass open on the other side of the field, and he didn't even look. I don't know if he trusts the offense. Who is Nick? Where did Nick Sirianni come from? Like, honestly. No,
I think, where did he come from? Was he one of Frank Wright's disciples?
I don't know where.
I'm honestly not sure where he came from.
Who did he call plays for? Was he with the Chargers?
Yeah, it's funny you remember that play, because I remember watching that too, and I was like, why did he even? Because like Jalen kind of threw it into like double coverage, triple coverage. Reagor had no separation. He was kind of being hooked on the back end. It's just like, I just can't make any sense.
Okay, yeah, he was the Colts offensive coordinator from 2018 to 2020.
Okay.
He looks inept. He looks, and it seems like I was messaging with my boy Scott Connor last night. It seems like they're. Here's what I'm going to tell Philly fans, because I know Philly fans are clamoring. We want a new quarterback. Get Hurts out of there. Sam Howell, Malik Willis, they will have the same issues. I promise you. If this offense remains this way, they will have the same damn problems. The same problems as Jalen Hurts is having right now. They just look bad, man. The offensive line is not good, but I don't know what to say, man. This was an uninspiring performance from the Philadelphia Eagles. When, if you want to be honest, this was a winnable matchup for them. I mean, this was a game they could have stole, or at least pushed Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay did not play great. Leonard Fournette was fantastic. Tom Brady was good, but they didn't just go out there and boat race them like they did the Miami Dolphins. And I want to give Philadelphia's defense a ton of credit for legitimately they shut down the passing attack. Antonio Brown got his, took 13 targets. AB got his, but Mike Evans didn't kill him. Chris Godwin didn't kill him. Antonio Brown got his, and we knew somebody was going to do it from the passing attack, but they shut down two of the big three at the wide receiver, shut them down. And then Leonard Fournette did his thing on the ground, but it took 22 carries for him to get 81 yards. He got a lot of yardage off of checkdowns, which means the defensive backs were doing their job. I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is I am not going to put all of the blame onto Jalen Hurts' shoulders. I'm not going to do that. This was his 10th career start, and once again, I can go back through a litany of quarterbacks who have not played well, and if you're panicked on Jalen Hurts right now, you should have that same type of energy for Zach Wilson, that same type of energy for some of these rookie quarterbacks who haven't played well to start their career either. This was his 10th game, and, to Hunter's point, Hunter says, he thinks that, this supporting cast this season is better than Josh Allen's in his rookie season. I mean, maybe the receivers and, the offensive line stinks. That O-line is terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, in my opinion, this offense is just not good. They have no identity. This is how bad it is for a team. When your fan base cheers hysterically because they ran the ball and Miles Sanders picked up 4 yards, I think it was in the second quarter, and they're just standing up clapping. The announcers are the fans are cheering from a 4-yard run. That tells you how bad it is. And I wouldn't be shocked, Jay, if the scapegoat for this is Jalen Hurts, and I wouldn't be shocked if in a couple of weeks we see Gardner Minshew. I just wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if they did it. I would not be shocked if Nick Sirianni pulled the plug and said, we need a spark. No, we need a spark from you as the play caller. Why don't you relinquish duties of play calling and focus on getting the rest of your team, your offensive line, ready to play better. But I wouldn't even be shocked if they pulled Hurts at this point. Just seems like the kid is being set up to fail.